Now, Bollywood, as we've actually come to know it, has grown and grown since those early days when you started making movies. Now, 750 movies a year, approximately, are turned out from there, some with hundreds. Many of the actors can be making 6 films at any one time.
That's a conservative estimate.
Conservative? You think more?
Yes.
Why is the industry so prolific? Why does it turn out so many movies?
I think partly because that's the only form of entertainment we have in India. And it's easily available to the common man. It's cheap. Ticketing is very reasonable. And people just like to go out and see the movies.
And it's very much more a family affair, isn't it?
Yes, everyone in the family goes.
Yes. And that's why the films are very successful over here. It becomes more of a social gathering.
Yes,
People go to watch the star's latest film. Now, your name above a film title will always sell a film. Now, that must gratify you.
Not always.
So how many films would you make in any one time?
Well,
What's actually the most that you've been doing?
Around the 70s and 80s, I was doing about 20 films at the same time.
Yeah.
But now it's about 6.
Slowed down.
Slowed down.
I mean, 20 films, but then you must have been going on, they give you the script, you learn that line, you do it to camera. It's a very fast turnaround. Yes.
Sometimes 2 or 3 in the same day.
Wow. Some go in, huh? Some
3
go
shifts
in.
a day, yes.
3 shifts a day.
That's right.
And do you ever get to meet and acquaint with the other people working on the film, or are you
yes,
rushed between film sets?
No, we have the cast and the crew of each film with us.
Yeah.
So we keep meeting them.
So you must have been seen by billions of people now around the world in all the movies.
Well, 900 million in India, and there are Asians all over the world, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the films travel, people eagerly await the next films now, don't
Yes,
they?
they do. Every Friday, about 10 films.
And how many do you watch yourself?
I try and see as many as I can, but it's tough sometimes.
It is difficult, but then if we look back, you were sort of acting from a very, very early age, even at home.
Yes.
You were acting when you went to college, you did Shakespeare.
Good research.
You did? You did do Shakespeare?
Yes, but they were very amateur level work, and there was an interest in working on stage all the time. And then I guess that films was a natural extension to what I was doing, and that's how I ended up in films.
You've made 80 films. Do they still excite you as much as the very first film?
Oh yes, absolutely.
How do you keep going then?
I think it's looking at your career every day, and every day is a new challenge. It's a new day, a new role, a sequence, virtually. May not be in concept, it's similar, because the format hasn't changed in the last 50 to 100 years of Indian cinema. Most of our stories are the same, but there is an excitement every day, and that keeps you going.
Oh, I was speaking to you earlier and I was saying, now, how can I describe you? Are you a bit like Sean Connery? And you were saying, you've got a bit of John Travolta and you've got lots of different things in there.
Yeah, that's because almost all Hindi films have the leading man playing something dramatic, something romantic, a few dance numbers. We have a lot of music in our films, 6 or 7 songs in every film. We have a lot of action, there's a lot of drama, there's adventure. It's several things all going at once. So.
Do you think they're very romantic? Do you like the innocence of Indian films more so to maybe the violence of the Hollywood stuff that's coming out at the moment?
I think it's a mixture of both. I would be dishonest if I said that there isn't an influence in Indian cinema from Hollywood, but within its restrictions, our censor board restrictions. Yes.
Is it actually easy to make the transition from being a huge star in Bollywood to Hollywood?
I don't think it's a natural thing. I don't think it's happened earlier. I don't think it would happen so easily now. But I think we'll have to wait and watch and see how Hollywood really decides to accept Indian cinema and Indian stars. If there is a space in Hollywood for Indian stars, we'd be very happy to be working with them.
Another thing today, that literally thousands of people wanted to fit in our audience. We have 100, and that's all we could fit in here. There were people outside, our phone switchboards were jammed. What's it like for you to walk out into the streets? Because literally cities are closed down when you arrive. Can you maintain a normal life?
Oh, yes. I think it's an exaggeration that cities close down. I think that...
No, it's not. Birmingham was when you were last there.
I think these are some of the prices that you have to pay for the kind of profession you're in. I guess actors and personalities and celebrities in any part of the world would face the same situation, and I would consider that any celebrity in India would face the same situation. But yes, it is tough to go out and do normal things like go out shopping, but we go out to restaurants and sometimes movie theaters. It's cool. On
to what everybody in the audience would think. There's a lot of people who did want to ask a question. And it was something that you've actually said very similar here, Steve-O. It was from Mr. R. Cameron, and it said, if you want fancy waving, yeah, would you ever consider working in Hollywood? If the offer came, would you consider it?
Well, beggars are no choosers, really. That would be a great opportunity to work in Hollywood, purely because of the fact that it's technically so proficient. We lack a lot of technique. I think that we are at least 20, 25 years behind Hollywood as far as technology is concerned. And just the charm and the opportunity to be able to be backed up with all this technology that Hollywood has would be a great high for any actor. So yes, we would.
Definitely. We've got a question here from Singita Barber. That's couldn't be better. Who says, who do you look up to? Who is your hero?
I've always admired Mr. Dilip Kumar, and he's been a great inspiration to several actors down the line. He's been a great influence in the entire career of the Indian film industry. And I think that any actor that came after him would be lying if he said that he was not ever influenced by Mr. Dilip Kumar.
We've got one here from, is it Shakil Hussain? Up the top in the middle there, saying, how did you get into acting? Now, we heard a little bit that you started as a child, you were interested in acting, but what was the first real paid acting job that you got? Can you remember?
In 1969, that was my first film. I got into the films, I tried to get into films via a contest. There was a group of producers and directors in Bombay that were advertising for new talent, and they had a talent contest, and I applied, and I was rejected in the preliminaries, and so I was very disappointed by this, and just decided to chuck up my job and landed up in Bombay, and went from door to door trying to sell myself, and that's how I ended up in 1969.
Yeah, we got one.
Saath Hindustani was the first film with Khwaja Ahmad Abbas.
And we've got one more here, which is the last one, from Hiten Barber. Where's Hiten Barber?
Where? Hello? Put your hand up.
And he's over there in the corner. Yeah. Are you thinking about going back into politics?
No.
That was very emphatic. Don't like politics, then?
No. That was a very brief stint I had. It was more an emotional decision that I took. And having realized that emotion has no part to play in politics, I've opted out midway. And I'm not going back there again.